tó gbé wa wá
tàfi débí.
ohun tó gbé wa wá
tèwe tàgbà.
iṣẹ́ Olúwa wa
Allahu Ta'ala.
iṣẹ́ Ẹlẹ́dàá wa
Allahu Ta'ala.
iṣẹ́ aláwọ̀ yìí o
Allahu Ta'ala.
òdodo ti dé
irọ́ pamọ́.
òdodo wọ̀ bí
irọ́ pamọ́.
òdodo wọlé
irọ́ parẹ́.
ọkùnkùn párádà
ìmọ̀lẹ̀ tẹ́.
rísàlà àkìdẹ́
àfẹsọ̀dodo.
ohun tó gbé wa wá
tàfi débí.
ohun tó gbé wa wá
tèwe tàgbà.
iṣẹ́ Olúwa wa
Allahu Ta'ala.
iṣẹ́ Ẹlẹ́dàá wa
Allahu Ta'ala.
iṣẹ́ aláwọ̀ yìí o.
Allahu Ta'ala.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Viewers at home, the Muslims in general, I say unto you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Unto the free thinkers, the atheists or the idol worshippers, likewise the Christian in general, may the peace of God be upon you all. Amen. Tonight, I'm going to deviate a little. And the simple reason is this. I'm sorry for any inconvenience that might have caused yours. Though we started late and that's Nigerian factor anyway. I'm sorry for that. Because supposed to have commenced this program by 9. And if you look at the time now in Nigeria, we are about almost 10 minutes to 10. And the program is supposed to run from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I'm sorry for that. That's Nigerian factor anyway. Now, last week, I was discussing with everyone of us throughout the whole world about a book written by Pastor Nurini Alabi. This was a former Muslim. I tried to debunk some of his claim. I'm going to deviate a little, or to say I'm going to suspend the discussion of the book for tonight, because I was although I've heard about this issue or 2 months ago before the Ramadan, and I've tried my best to tell her the truth about a message that was sent to the social media, all over the world, concerning religion, and some that have lived thousands of years before the advent of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. If you go on YouTube, there's a topic on it titled Orunmila, a prophet of God. It's on YouTube. It's in Yoruba language anyway. And so somebody sent it to me again this evening, one of my members. He got somebody, the guy that sent it to him was once a Christian. Someone now sent it to him that you from Christianity down to Islam. Don't you know you are missing your way? That's why I sent that audio message to this very guy. But for tonight, I'm going to play the audio message and discuss with every one of us on the issues he has raised. It's very simple anyway, but to many out there might not understand what he was talking about or get confused about it. Let's play the audio now and every one of us throughout the whole world that's watching this program should just take note of some points in it that I'm going to. The audio is about 10 minutes or so, so we're going to discuss on that audio message inshallah this evening. This evening. Let me have a pen.
Dear brothers and sisters all across the world, our religions have divided us. Religious war has claimed millions of our lives, turned millions of us homeless, and created the biggest enmity among mankind. Many of us will be surprised by what we're about to hear, but it is very important we refer to these things if truly we all want to restore the peace that we have lost in our world. The Chinese have been existing 2070 years before Christ. The first history of Japan was told 10 years before Christ. The Koreans have been existing 2,333 years before Christ. The history of the Indians is dated to as far back as 3,300 years before Christ. Jesus, peace be upon him, was born on AD 1, meaning Anno Domini, which means the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, and died on AD 30 or 33 as history has it. Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born on 570 CE in the Common Era, that was 570 years after Christ, and died in 632 CE. Now, these are the big questions most of us fail to ask. Question 1. Is there any proof to say that for all the thousands of years the Asians and the Indians have been existing before Christ, they never heard about God, and God has just left them to exist? Question 2. How come the Quran, the Bible, and every other scripture that is sourced from the Jewish and the Arab nations never mentioned anything about the Asians and the Indians? The history of mankind as narrated in these books only covered the Jewish and the Arab nations. Question 3. Let us agree that the whites and the blacks are truly generations of Adam and Eve, probably because of our looks. But why did the Quran and the Bible not explain where the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, and the Indians come from? Question 4. How come the religions that claim to be the most holy religions in our world and to have generated from the two sons of the same father, Father Abraham, are the most divided religions, causing unrest and hatred among themselves and the rest of our world? This is the truth. The Christians are Christians because they have faith in a certain prophet and book. The Muslims are Muslims because they believe in a particular prophet and book. A Jew is a Jew because he or she also believes in his or her own religion. The Buddhists are Buddhists because they solely believe in their own way of worship, and so is every religion. But make no mistake, there is no evidence to support that God intends a single religion for the whole world, or that God intends to grant paradise to a particular religion. But it is reasonable enough to say that every man and every woman shall be judged according to his or her own faith. This is my belief. The world will become a peaceful place if we can grant freedom of religion to all. After all, life's only certainty is death. The Jews will die, the Christians will die, the Muslims will die, the Buddhists will die, and so will every human being. But the judgment will not be done by any of us. Your response there, brothers and sisters, what do you say? Do you still think it's worth killing ourselves for religion? Or would you join us to embrace peace among mankind and make our world a better place? This is a clear message. We all need to unite for greater good if we truly want peace. It is time to stop giving in to religion's fight. It is time to stop following misleading religion's leaders. It is time to look at each other through the common thread of humanity, disregarding all religious differences. Let us create a culture that encourages peaceful marital relationships. A Muslim husband and a Christian wife can both live peacefully if they allow religious freedom in their relationship and also free their children to choose the religion they wish to practice, because only God can guide. If anyone tells you to wear bomb and kill your Christian neighbors, tell him to wear it and bomb on his own, since he claims to be going to heaven. If anyone tells you to hate your Muslim friends, tell him you are not the one to judge them when they die. If anyone promises you heaven for killing another, ask him in what city is heaven, as you would like to see it first before you kill someone. Because truly, if a terrorist believes he has a space in heaven, he would be the first to die without having to worry about those going to hell. Open your minds, brothers and sisters all across the world. Please, stop joining those claiming to be fighting holy war. Your country allows freedom of religion, yet you claim to be fighting holy war. That is not holy, but self-interest for personal gains. Let us reject hate speech in our places of worship. Let Christians go to their churches peacefully. Let Muslims go to their mosques peacefully. Let everyone worship what they believe in. Let everyone respect the faith of another. If we happen to find ourselves in other religious communities, let us interact with each other with love, because we are all human beings first, above every other thing. Let us stop forcing people to join our own religion, because if we do not have any personal gain in having big number of followers, then why are we forcing people to join our own religion? Let us leave judgment for God, for He alone will judge each and every one of us.
Now, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I think every one of us have heard that audio voice. I don't know who has made it anyway. I just tagged the guy a free thinker, cause all what he was saying, that's how a free thinker do reason anyway. Now he has raised a lot of points, although he thought it was 4 questions that he has made, but to me he has made a lot. The first thing he said, religion has divided us. Religion never divided us. Religion never did what? Divided us. No, I don't agree with that. And the reason is this: people claim to be a religionist without having a foreknowledge or any knowledge about what religion really is. Normally everybody believes he has practiced 1 or 2 religion. Ogun worshippers claim to be a religionist, Osun worshippers claim to be a religionist, and all those that worship 1, 2 things or the other. But the first question is, what is religion? The word religion, is it from the idolatry or from the atheist? The word religion is from God. The word religion is from God, because that's what Allah said to Muhammad. So in Quran chapter 51 verse 56, Ba'da billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Allah said, Ma khalaqtu al-jinna wal insa illa liya'budun. I have not created the jinns, the unseen spirit. Jinns are not demons, but there are demons among them. Allah said, I have not created the jinns and human being for any other purpose than for religion, to worship God alone. So which means the word religion itself means the do's and don'ts of God. So to correct that impression, there is only one religion before God, Just one, not two, not three. All those things that people claim to be religion are not religion, because they copied what God has made by himself. Those are man-made religion. Man-made religion, as I may put it, because it was never from God. The only religion from God is Islam. That is why in Quran chapter 3 verse 19, Allah said, Inna dina inda Allah al-Islam. The only way to salvation is by being a Muslim. That's just it. But the problem now is, what is Islam? Islam means, literally, Islam means peace. It was taken from the word peace, salam. So Islam is religion of peace, because Allah has ordained that in the Quran, that the only religion before God is Islam. So religion has never divided us. The reason why the free thinkers made such statement was that he was looking at the whole world at large, that we have different religion on earth. We don't have different religion. Christianity is never a religion, but a way of life. So and I'm very sure this program is a live program, and I would love Christians to call in from all over the world to make your own contribution or question over this issue. I'm imploring everybody to please share this program. At least one should be able to share at least 20 minimum or more than that, so that it will get to where it's supposed to be. Let everybody know about these things, because no two religion on earth, I said earlier on, is only one. That's what Allah said in the Quran, and I'll tell the reason why Allah has made such statements. In Quran 3 verse 85, Allah said, one more in Quran 3 verse 85, Allah said, wa man yabtaghi ghayra islamuddin falan yuqbala minhu wa fil akhirah min al khasirin. Allah said, whosoever desire any other religion than to be a Muslim, it will never be acceptable of him, and on the last day will be among the losers. So which means religion has not divided us. Our mission or our thinking has divided us, not religion. He now said, before Jesus, Japan existed, yes, Korean, Indian, there's no doubt about that, because there are nations before the advent of Jesus and Muhammad. But all these people, the Asians, because there's another question here, that don't they know God before the advent of Jesus and Muhammad? Of course they do. Of course they do. They practice the religion of God. You know, the word Islam is that's the problem people are having today. They thought that Islam is from Muhammad. No, that's a wrong impression. Islam is never from Muhammad. It's from Allah, from God. From God, through the first prophet of God, Noah. Prophet Noah was the first prophet of God in Islam, even in the Bible. That's the first prophet of God. Now, and a messenger as well. A messenger of God. Sorry, a messenger of God, because Adam was a prophet. Noah was a messenger. That's the first messenger of God. And the Asians, the Japanese, likewise the Koreans, are also from the lineage of Noah. You know, they have been existing before the advent of Moses, Jesus, even Muhammad. So the Asians, the Japanese, likewise the Indians, are all from Noah and his descendants. They might not be they are not directly the children of Noah, but the descendants of Noah before the advent of Jesus and Muhammad, even Moses. So they knew God before then, before Muhammad and Jesus. The reason is this: Allah said to Muhammad in the book, in Quran Quran chapter 10 verse 47. Quran chapter 10 verse 47. Allah said, to every people we've sent a messenger. To every nations, a messenger was sent. When their messenger comes before them, the matter will be judged between them with justice, and they will not be wronged. And so that's the promise of Allah. So Allah is confirming in the Quran that the Asians, the Japanese that was existed before Muhammad and Jesus as their own prophets. We might not know them because they are not mentioned. Because Quran is not a storybook that will be telling you this prophet of this, prophet of this. No, God just mentioned few, even to Muhammad. But later Muhammad confirmed when he came that Allah sent 124,000 prophets. 124,000. So which means all these Asians, Koreans, even the Indians as their own prophet. Even the Chinese as their own prophet. The Buddha that the Chinese turned to be their god was a prophet of God when he was alive. Because in Yoruba land we call them Orisha. Orisha does not mean bad thing or something. Orisha is from Orishada, the chosen one. The chosen one. Judah was a chosen one. Likewise Jesus, likewise Muhammad, likewise Moses. Even Orunmila of Yoruba land was Orishada. He was a chosen one. And look at it from this perspective. When Buddha was alive, there's no record that people worshipped him. When he was alive, no record that they worshipped him. Likewise, Orunmila, they were not worshipped. Even Batala in Yoruba land, they were not worshipped. Arushi in Igbo land, he is not worshipped when he was alive. It was because he was anointed of God unto them. So when he died, they now felt that they are pagan. That's their mentality. The man that can perform all this, he must be our God. So that's how they took him after his demise to be their God. So the same thing. Okay, look at what's happening to Jesus today. Upon all the claims that Jesus has made in the Bible, that I'm not God, I'm not this, I'm not that, some Christians till today still believe Jesus is God. Can you imagine? So the same thing applies to the Buddhists, the Shintoists, and others. Same thing. Because they view that this Jesus has supernatural power. Upon having his records clearly written in John 14:28 that my Father is greater than I. So the guy they interpret that my Father is greater than I. John 14:1, Jesus said, believe in God and in me. In my Father's house. Jesus called God Father. How can the same Jesus be God? So that's the problem the whole world has been having before the advent of Muhammad. So the Asians as their God, as they knew God before the advent of Muhammad. They knew God before the advent of Moses, even Jesus. To buttress my point, in Quran chapter 30 verse 47, Surah to Rome, verse 47, hear what Allah said to Muhammad. For you to know that there is no nation on earth that will not send prophet to. Allah said, 47, Allah said, and indeed, we we indeed sent before thee, before Muhammad, messengers to their people, and they came to them with clear signs. Then to who transgress, to those who transgress, we meted out retributions, and it was a duty incumbent upon us. So which means, okay, to hate the believers. Now, which means before the advent of Muhammad, prophets were being sent to nations. There is no nation on earth that were not sent messengers. No nation. The Chinese as theirs, the Japanese as theirs, the Indians as theirs. That's why they worship Hindu. Hindu was a prophet of God when he was alive. Nobody worshipped Hindu when he was alive. It was after his demise, as the Christian worship Jesus today. So the same thing applies to them, and the same thing applies to idol worshippers of the whole world, because they believe that the God that this messenger was pointing to them cannot be seen. He's unseen God. So in order for them to know how to worship this God, and they felt that the propagation about this God unto them beyond their reasoning. So they now felt that we cannot worship this God direct. So we have to go through these prophets that have died. So that's why their thinking was that if they worship that prophet after his demise, then the prophet on their behalf will worship God. That's the mentality of their idol worshippers. The same thing applies to the Christians. They took Jesus as intermediary between God and man. That's why the Apostle Paul, self-acclaimed apostle, said in 1 Timothy chapter 5 chapter 2 verse 5, Paul said, for there is only one God. He acknowledged that there is only one God, and a mediator between God and man. Can you imagine? The idol worshippers, the Hindus, the Hare-Krishnas, they believe there is only one God. Even in Yoruba land, we believe that there is Olodumare. So, what are we saying? So they knew God before the advent of Muhammad and Jesus. But their mentality was that this God that cannot be seen is too holy for them to come near. So they have to pass through Ogun, they have to pass through Oya, they have to pass through Hindu. Likewise Buddha, likewise Shinto. They worship Shinto for Shinto to worship God on their behalf, because they knew that they believed that Shinto is too holy. He's a messenger of God, anointed man of God unto them. So they prefer worshiping that prophet than to worship God direct. So that what affected all those races before the advent of Muhammad. Now, I said prophet was sent unto all the nations before Muhammad. That answers the question. They knew God before Muhammad came. Now, he said, same question. He said, how then the Bible and the Quran never mention about the Asian nation? Of course it does. When it says nations, the Quran is not a storybook. I told you earlier on that will be quoting Japanese, the Asians. Japanese, China. No. Quran is far more than that. When he said nation or people, he has generalized the whole thing. If you check what the Quran said in Quran chapter 21 verse 107, Allah said, I have not sent thee Muhammad, but as a mercy and blessing unto mankind. So will Allah now be saying that Muhammad was sent to Japan, was sent to Cameroon, was sent to no. He has to generalize, because he knew quite all right that people lived in those countries. There was no country before now. Then there was no countries. People are living anywhere they likes. There's no Nigeria, there's no America, there's no Japan, there's no anywhere. It was when people gather together, they form a nation. So God does not have interest in nation. He has interest in people that lives in the nation. Nation is a name that can be changed at any time. So we name Nigeria. Lord Lugar named us Nigeria. So what are we saying? So now that answers the second question. He now said the two religion. Okay, what's the third one there? What? Let me go to the. I'll check the third one. He said, why do the two holy religion from Abraham? That's it, because misconception in the highest order. I said a misconception in the highest order. There are no two religions. There is only one religion. I said earlier on. From Abraham, there is only one. Because in Quran chapter 42, verse 13, Allah said to Muhammad, Shalom alakum min ad-din ma sabin Noah, walladhi awhayna ilayka wa ma sanabi Ibrahim wa Musa wa Isa an yaqimu din wa la tatafarraqu fi. Which means Allah said to Muhammad that it has been ordained for you a religion unto Noah. God gave Noah religion. The same religion that was given to Noah was ordained unto Muhammad as well. The same religion was given to Abraham, to Moses, to Jesus. And now said, Ani Akimuddin. You have to stay by that religion. Wala tatafaraku. Make no differences in that religion. So which means before, even during the time of Noah, there was only one religion. The time of Abraham, one religion. Time of Jesus, one religion. Moses, one religion. Jesus, even one religion. The same religion was given unto them. So there are no two religion. There are no two holy religion. No. The only religion before God is Islam. Christianity was never a religion. He now said the Muslim follow Muhammad and they practice Islam. The Christian follow Jesus, they practice Christianity. Let me correct you in that point as well. Christianity is never from Jesus. Never. Let me tell you the history. When Jesus died, after his demise, the two sets of people that was called Christian, Jesus in his life never heard about Christian in his life. This is a funny program. Jesus never heard about Christianity in his life. Not even Christian. Not even the word Christ. The word Christ came to existence after Jesus. Jesus never heard about Christ in his life. Do you know why? Christ was a Greek word. Originally, it was called Christos. Christos. From Christos came Christ. That's why if you check the book of John chapter 1 verse 41, the Bible said when they have found him, he said to, let me have the Bible there. He said to, let me quote as it is in the Bible. John chapter 1 verse 41. John chapter 1 verse 41. John 1:41. Not First John, not the epistle of John. John, the real John itself, after Luke. John 1:41 said, at once he found his brother Simon and told him, we found Messiah, which means Christ. You get that? If you check the King James version, he said, we have found the Christ, which means Messiah. So which means the word Christ was being translated. The word Messiah was being translated to Christ. Jesus never spoke Greek, because the word Christ is from the Greek word, from the Greek language, from Christos. So how can Jesus be called Christ? It was through translations, because all the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation were not written in Hebrew language initially. It was in Greek. It was in Greek language that Matthew, Mark, Luke, John to Revelation was written. So anywhere they saw Messiah, they added Christ to suit their language. I get my point. So the word Christ has never been from Jesus. That's why I get baffled when the Christians said Jesus Christ. I laughed. Jesus Christ. From where to where? At the 8th day, according to Luke chapter 2 verse 21, Luke 2:21, at the 8th day, when Jesus was about to be circumcised, he was named Jesus, not Jesus Christ. So the word Christ is a posthumous word by the pagan in Greek world that took over Jerusalem when Jesus died. So the word Christ was never a name unto Jesus. It was a posthumous award and a name that was given after his death. So now come to think of it. If Jesus never heard about Christ, how can someone tells you that the word Christian means the follower of Jesus? No. The word Christian means Christ-like. The word Christ, I've told you, in Hebrew, in English language, it was being translated as the anointed one. So all the anointed one are Christ in the language of Greek. That's why I'm being called Labaika the Christ. Labaika the anointed. So the word Christ is not a name, it's a title unto Jesus after his demise. I am still in the world. I am Christ. So the anointed one. So Jesus never called himself Christ when he was alive. So whoever is referred to as Christian today were not follower of Jesus, but follower of Christ. Who is this Christ? Apostle Paul. Yeah. If you check the book of Romans chapter 1, the first book of Romans, look at what Paul said to the Romans. To the Romans. He said, from Paul, a servant of Jesus Christ, an apostle chosen and called by God to preach the good news. You see? So Paul referred himself to be Christ, chosen, the anointed one. Although he lied anyway, there's no prophecy in the Bible that somebody will come will be referred to as Saul or Paul, who will succeed Jesus when he died. There's no evidence on that. No evidence. No single evidence on that. He lied. Now, if you are a Christian today, you are not a follower of Jesus. You are a follower of Christ. That is Apostle Paul, self-acclaimed apostles. That is why all his messages has negated what Jesus said. Look at what he said in Hebrews chapter 6. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 1. Paul said, let us leave behind the elementary doctrine of Christ and go on to maturity. Can you imagine? Let us leave the elementary doctrine of Christ, referring to Jesus, and go on to maturity. So which means all what Jesus said as he referred to be Christ was elementary. I could remember in year 1999 that I traveled for lecture in Akure On that very faithful Saturday/Sunday morning, a pastor came on board. I quoted this Hebrew for him. Hebrew 6 verse 1. He said, yeah, we are going to leave Jesus. Look at the instance he made. He said, if you have a son or you gave birth newly to a child, and that very child will be taking breastfeeding when he was so young, but when he grew up he will be taking a bar, bread and all that. He now said that breastfeed is that is the teaching of Jesus. So what will made us to grow as a Christian is the teaching of Paul. That's the message. That's why I now understood why the reason why, if a pastor will quote Jesus, he will first quote the Bible said. The Bible said. No, go and look at their doctrines, their teachings on air, on anywhere. Before they can quote Jesus said, they will tell you the Bible said Colossians, the Bible said Ephesians, the Bible said Galatians, the Bible said Thessalonica, the Bible said Revelation, the Bible said 1 Peter, 2 Peter, and all that. The Bible said. Tell me what Jesus said. And I remembered again, I was about to debate with one pastor. I'm talking about 15 years ago now, or thereabout. I now said, see, on this debate, no parabulation. He said yes. And I want you to tell me a place in the Quran that you not wanted me to read for you as an evidence. He said, Quran is all the same thing. I said, okay, thank you. For me, I want to hear Jesus said. He said what? I said Jesus said alone in the Bible. Which means you are going to quote Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Anything outside that, I don't want it. The pastor said, far. What else are we to quote? Nothing on ground. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. That's all. No Thessalonica, no Romans, no Hebrew, no Revelation to back my point up. You can see a Christian cannot live without all those letters from the Apostle Paul. They even preferred what is said than that of Jesus. So if you are a Christian today, you are not a follower of Jesus. That is reason number one. Before, I said after Jesus came Christ. From the word Christ, 45 years after Jesus, Barnabas and Paul were first called Christian in Antioch. That was 45 years after Jesus. Let's go to the book of Acts of Apostles, chapter 11, verse 25 and 26. Then Barnabas went to Tarsus to look for Saul. When they had found him, he took him to Antioch. And for a whole year, the two met with the people of the church and taught the large group. It was at Antioch that the believers were first called Christian. You can see, 45 years after Jesus. So Jesus never heard about Christian in his life. He never heard about Christian in his life. So how can we now attribute Christianity to Jesus? You are making a mistake. Christian does not make Jesus follower. No. Christ-like. Paul is the Christ that you followed, not Jesus. Not Jesus at all. Because Paul is the establisher of Christianity, not Jesus. So if you are a Christian throughout the whole world, you are not a follower of Jesus. That is one point for you. The other point is, before the advent of Jesus, there are prophecies. Jesus is not sent to the whole world. No. That's why God said to Muhammad, in Quran chapter 30 verse 47 I quoted earlier on, that to every nation was sent prophets. And in Quran chapter 10 as well, verse 13, sorry. Quran chapter 10 verse 13. Allah said, generations before you, before Muhammad, we destroyed when they did wrong. Their messengers came to them with clear signs, but they will not believe. Thus, we do requite those who sin. So, which means, nation was sent to, not to the whole world, every nations. This is a prophet. This is a prophet. This is a prophet. The same thing applies to Jesus. The same thing applies to Jesus. Because God said to Muhammad in Quran chapter 3 verse 49, in the prophecy of Jesus in the Quran, Quran chapter 3, Surah Imran, verse 49. Hear what Allah said to Muhammad. Allah said, and appointed Jesus as a messenger unto the children of Israel. That's what Allah said. When Mary was about to be conceived, he said, we are going to make Jesus a messenger unto the children of Israel. And that has been the culture of God before the advent of Muhammad. Even Jesus confirmed some prophets as well that were not meant for the Israelites. If you check the book of Luke, chapter 4, from verse 25, hear what Jesus said about some prophets. For you to know that prophet was sent before Muhammad to their own people, not to the whole world. So every race has a prophet. Now, Allah said, Jesus said in the Bible, Luke chapter 4, verse 25. Jesus said, let me take from verse 24. I tell you this, Jesus added, prophets are never welcome in their hometown. 25. Listen to me, Jesus said, it is true that there were many widows in Israel during the time of Elijah, when there was no rain for 3.5 years, and a severe famine spread throughout the whole land. 26. Yet Elijah was not sent to anyone. You can imagine, Elijah is a messenger and a prophet of God when he was alive. Jesus now said, yet Elijah was not sent to anyone in Israel, but only to a widow living in Sepharad in the territory of Sidon. Can you imagine? A whole prophet of God, a whole messenger of God was not sent to the whole Israelites, was sent to just one widow to assist him. You can imagine that. Confirming what Allah said to Muhammad, that people are being sent messengers to. Nations were being sent to before Muhammad, even before Jesus. Now in 27, Luke 4:27 now. He now said, and there were many people suffering from a dreaded skin disease who lived in Israel during the time of Prophet Elisha. That's the son of Elijah. Yet none of them were healed, but only Naaman the Syrian. So which means confirming that God sent prophet to people single-handedly, not in generality. Jesus was sent to the Israelites, not to the whole world. So that's why I baffled. Or I've said earlier on that Christians are not for Jesus, they are for Paul. Now, before the advent of Jesus, there are a lot of prophecies that arises before his birth. The first one was in Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. The Bible said, she shall have a son, and you shall name him Jesus, because he will save his people from their sin. He will save his people from their sin. Who are his people? When the word save comes in, it does not mean as you think that will come and no, not that. He will preach and convince you from your error to what God needed you for. That's how to save. You can confirm that in the book of James, chapter 2, chapter 5, sorry. I think verse 19 and 20. For you to know the word saves there implies. James chapter 5. The book of James. Okay. Chapter 5. Verse 19 and 20. Here what the word save means. He said, my brothers and sisters, if anyone wanders away from the truth, and another bring him back by preaching unto him. That's the meaning. Verse 20. Remember this, whoever turns away a sinner, whoever turns a sinner back from his or her sin, will save the sinner. It will save the soul of the sinner from death. So, a preacher, according to this verse, is a savior. Just preach, but you don't have the power. According to what God and Jesus, what God said, even what Jesus said in the Bible, according to John chapter 6 verse 44, Jesus said, "No one can come unto me except my Father draws him." So Jesus is not a savior. So you need to preach to his people for them to turn to God to save them from destruction. That's just it. Now, who are his people? That's the next question now. According to Matthew chapter 2, verse 6, the Bible said, Bethlehem in the land of Judah, you by no means the least of the leading cities of Judah, for from you will come a leader who will guide my people Israel. Who will guide my people Israel. So who will guide the people Israel? That's Jesus. To confirm that, when Jesus was given birth to now, they gave birth to Jesus in the book of Luke, chapter 2, from verse 34. To confirm the reason why he has come to the world. Not for you, the Christians, not for you. He now said, verse 34, okay, from verse 33, the child's father and his mother were amazed at the things Simon said about him. 34, Simon blessed them and said to Mary, his mother, the mother of Jesus, this child is chosen by God, chosen, anointed by God, for destruction and salvation of many in Israel, specifically Israel, not to the whole world. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting time in following Jesus. It's not for you. You are following Paul and you are wasting your time. Okay? Now, we've heard that at the age of 30, when Jesus grew up to its maturity, before the advent of Jesus, Israel were 12 nations. Israel, because Jacob was later turned to Israel, they were 12 nations. Jacob gave birth to 13 children, out of which one is a female. A female does not hold a town or a nation. She'll go out there and marry. But the 12 men that were left behind formed the 12 nations of Israel. The 12 nations of Israel. Jesus now did one thing when he came, when he grew up, according to Matthew chapter 10. For you to know, Jesus was not left out. Prophet that was sent to his people. Because I've been wondering if anybody tells me today that I'm a follower of Moses, you are wasting your time. Everybody just claim Jesus blindly. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. Hear the instruction. These 12 men were sent out by Jesus with the following instructions. With the following instructions. 1. Do not go to Gentile territory. Don't go there. Gentile territory are categorized, are classified as Japan, China, Korean. Then, so those are, they are referred to as pagan, Gentiles, because they worship idol. They worship their prophets. He now said, or any Samaritan town. Back then, Samaritan town are categorized as the Middle East, the Arabs. Jesus said, do not go there. He now said, verse 7, verse 6, instead, you are to go to the lost sheep of Israel. Go and preach the kingdom of God. Heaven is near. He this and know that. So Jesus instructed his 12 disciples that they should not go to America. They should not go to UK. They should not go to China, India, Nigeria, Africa as a whole. Even the Arabs, they mustn't be there. But rather, they are to go to the lordship of Israel. You can imagine that. Not even all the Israelites. He was sent to some sects out of them. Those that knew God, that have not deviated from the law of Moses, Jesus knew them not. Jesus is never for them. But those that err away from the word of God before the advent of Jesus were the one Jesus sent to. So, if you are a Christian today, you are a Christian, follow Paul. Not Jesus. He was not sent to you at all. He was sent to the lordship of Israelites. Matthew 10, 5 and 6. Jesus now wanted to show them that he was not sent to the whole world. Look at what he did. Matthew chapter 15. From verse 21. The scene goes thus. Jesus was walking around one day. Suddenly, a woman from Canaan land. Canaan land today is the land of the Arabs. But the woman lived in Israel. She was not an Israelite. Look at what happened to her. Jesus left that place and went off to the territory of the city of Tyre and Sidon. 22. A Canaanite woman, not an Israelite woman. A Canaanite woman who lived in the region came to him. He lived in Israel, but she was not an Israelite, but he lived in Israel. Came to Jesus, said, "Sir, son of David." She cried out, have mercy on me, sir. She needed a favor from Jesus. She needed a favor from Jesus. That's why I said, have mercy on me. Look at, he now said, my daughter has a demon and is in a terrible condition. Verse 23. Jesus did not say a word. No, you can imagine. Jesus had the woman. That Jesus, please have mercy on me. Please call your God to attend to this daughter of mine. Jesus kept mute. He didn't say a word. Now disciples now get baffled. That why now? Were you not the one that said in Matthew 5 verse 9 that blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy? So why are you not having mercy on this woman? Because they get baffled. They now ask Jesus. They said, his disciples came to him and begged him. They are begging Jesus on behalf of that woman, that she's been following us now. Attend to her and let her go. Because disciples don't even understand why he has restricted them not to go out of Israel. They don't know. They thought all those that are in Israel has to be attended to by Jesus. But those that don't live in Israel have no chances of having Jesus. Jesus said, no, you don't understand. Even those that lives in Israel, that they are not Israelites, are not entitled to me. Now he now said, they now request and beg Jesus, send her away, for she's following us and making all this noise, just shouting, help me, help me, help me. Jesus did not answer. Verse 24, Jesus now replied and said, I have only been sent to the lordship of Israelites. Look at the statement, confirming what was on ground before his advent. Confirm what God said in the Quran. Jesus said, I was not sent only to the lordship of Israelites. So what else do you want Jesus to say? What else? No, I'm asking, what else? You have the right to call, but not now. Just give me some few minutes. Although we started late, I'm sorry. Supposed to spend 2 hours on this program, so we are going to close late tonight as well. Now, which means Jesus was sent to the lordship of Israelites, not to the whole world. Someone now said, but Jesus said in the book of Matthew chapter 28 verse 15 to 17 that going to the whole world. Lies. Lies. Do you know why? Truly it was written. But unfortunately, if you check the book of Mark, I don't know if you have the Revised Standard Version, that of 1845, the first edition. That statement in Matthew, even in Mark, the same was recorded in Mark, the same thing. Mark singularly said that those men were not made by Jesus, that it was added after his demise. That is Mark chapter 16. Mark 16 end up in verse 9. But if you check, even if you check this Good News Bible that I'm holding here, any Good News Bible, it was written an old ending to the gospel, an old ending to the gospel. And if you check at the footnotes of this very Bible, the footnote, this is a footnote here. You can see, this is a footnote. You can check it at home. This is the Bible, Good News. He now said some manuscripts and ancient translations, some manuscripts and ancient translation do not have this ending of gospel. Mark chapter 9 to 20, it ended in verse 8. So Jesus never said, go into the world and baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son. He never said that. He never said that. It was added by the Greeks in order to suit their own purpose, that we are all for Jesus, to take that message to the whole world. Their own message, not Jesus' message. Now, for you to confirm that what he said there can never be true, if we look at John chapter 4, John 4, Jesus was at the well of Jacob one day. He needed water. He now met a woman, a Canaanite woman. Sorry, a Samaritan woman. Now said to the woman, give me water and all that. The story in verse 20 to 22. That's where I'm going. John chapter 4, 20 and 22. You see, I will need two Bibles there, because there's a problem here. I'll need a King James version and Good News as well. Look at what Good News said. For them to just tell us that Jesus was sent to the whole world, and he lied to us. Jesus was never sent to the whole world. Don't be deceived. Don't waste your time. Jesus is not for you. It's never for you, and it will not be for you, because he was not sent to you. John chapter 4, verse 21. Let me read from 21. Okay, no, from 20. The woman replied, because Jesus said, you worship, they are talking about worship. My Samaritan ancestors worship God on this mountain, but you Jews says Jerusalem is the place where we worship God. 21. Jesus said to her, believe me, woman, the time will come when people will not worship the Father either on this mountain or in Jerusalem. 22. You Samaritans do not really know what you worship, but we Jews knows whom we worship, because the salvation is from the Jews. Okay, let me read as it is. He said, because it is from the Jews the salvation comes. Can see, which means the salvation that Jesus brought started, according to some pastors that I've discussed with, said he started as Muhammad started in Saudi Arabia, now to the whole world. The same thing Jesus started. No, Jesus started in Jerusalem, in Israel, and end up in Israel. But this very verse was encouraging you that Jesus started in Jerusalem, in Israel, and went to the world. No. Let me read the King James for you. Let me read it again. He said, verse 22. He said, for we the Jews worship what we know, and you worship what you don't know. For from the Jews the salvation comes. So comes, which means from the Jews the salvation comes to the whole world. That's the meaning. Let me read the King James. Now tell me the meaning. I mean the difference between this. Verse 22. The Bible said, King James now, ye worship what you know not. We know what we worship, for the salvation is of the Jews. Now, an Englishman, tell me the difference among them. From is of. Are they the same thing? From the Jews the salvation comes from. From of the Jews the salvation. The salvation that I brought is for the Jews alone. That's what is here. Not from. It's of the Jews. To buttress my point, at the judgment, on the judgment day, what will happen? Let's go back to Matthew chapter 19 for you to know that Jesus is never meant for the whole world. Don't waste your time. Matthew 19 from just verse 28. Just 28 alone. Jesus said to them, you can be assured that when the Son of Man sits on his glorious throne in the new age, the judgment day, in heaven, when you 12 followers of mine will also sit on the 12 thrones to rule the tribe of Israel. You can imagine, my brothers and sisters at home, I'm not molesting you. I'm not castigating you. Just reason along with me. Reason. Don't waste your precious time. You have one life to live. After this world, we are going to unknown destination. To an unknown destination. So, in order not to regret coming to this life or to this world, please think. Jesus said at the end of the day, at the new age, in heaven, the 12 disciples of mine will sit and rule the 12 tribe of Israel. 12 tribes, not 13. Where will you be on that judgment day? At the new age, where will you be? Will you be among the Matthew follower or Bartholomew, the 12? Brothers and sisters, please don't waste your time. Jesus was never sent to you. So there are no two religions on earth from God. The only prophet that was sent to the entire world is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is a confirmation. Quran chapter 34 verse 28. Hear what the Quran said about Muhammad being a universal messenger of God. Universal. Allah said, we have not sent thee, O you Muhammad, but as a messenger to all mankind. To all mankind. To all human beings. Muhammad was sent to them, giving them glad tidings and warning them, but most men knew not. If you knew that Muhammad was sent to the whole world, you will never follow Jesus. And it's never too late anyway. It's never too late. You can still change your ways. Tomorrow might be too late for you. Today is your salvation. Come out and be a Muslim. That's just it. You need nobody's permission to do that. Because you have your own life to live. Appointed for man to die once, as you know. Appointed for man to die once after their judgment. Allah said to Muhammad, Could not sin, Zakat al-Mouth. In Quran 21:35. God said it has been designed, everybody must die, must taste death. Every soul. So yours might be today or tomorrow. Do you intend to spend your eternity in hell? My viewers, do you intend to end up in hell? In that bosom fire that can never be compared with anything in the world? Please think. Quran 21 as well. Verse 107. Allah said to Muhammad, Allah said, we have not sent thee but as a mercy to all creatures, the animals, the human being, the birds, every creature Mama was sent to. So that is the man you're supposed to be disciples. That is the man that's supposed to know. That is why the pagan, the idol worshiper, the enemies of God tarnish his images, because they knew that Quran can never be altered. So the only thing they can do is to attack the personality of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they've done that before your advent. So you think this is Quran for you, telling you who Muhammad is, a universal prophet, a universal messenger of God. Before his advent, there are prophets that were sent to their people, to their nation, not to the whole world. It was Muhammad alone that was sent to the whole world, not Jesus. Stop wasting your precious time. Now that answers that question. Now, what's the time? Okay, let me just. He now said, Allah does not take a particular. He did. That's Islam. He took a particular religion, Islam, the religion of all prophets of God, including Jesus, Moses, and everybody. He now said, if we can allow everyone to practice his religion, the world will be at peace to live. Of course, Quran has said that before even these three thinkers even mentioned it. In Quran chapter 2, verse 256, Allah said, like Quran 15, there's no compulsion in religion. So what are we saying? God has allowed everybody to do his or her own will, waiting for an appointed date that you will die and face your Lord. Nobody will judge you except Allah. We are only saying, quoting what he has said. Quran chapter 2, verse 256. Hear what Allah said to Muhammad. For you to know that religion is not meant for violence. It's not meant for violence. There's no holy war. War is war. Allah said, let there be no compulsion in religion. The truth stand out. Very clear. That is Islam. From error. Whoever rejects Togut, that is arrogancy, and believes in Allah, has grasped the most worthy and that never breaks, and Allah heareth and knoweth all. Allahu Akbar. So there's no compulsion in religion. Not being a Muslim, you are not my enemy. Yeah, I cannot force you to be a Muslim. God has said it to me. Those are the mistakes some brothers are making today. If they approach a Christian girl, that will you marry me? The girl will say, I'm a Christian. No, Jamiu, I'm a Christian. You will now say, if you want to marry me, are you ready to become a Muslim? No, in Islam you don't say that. That's a grave mistake. You are making a mistake. You want to compel her. You want to use the love to chance his religion. No. Islam never permitted us to do that. It's not part of Sharia of Islam that you must compel a girl that wanted to marry, that you must become a Muslim. No, you must not. Just preach to her. After much saying, if she's confused about what you are saying, then she can follow you to the mosque. She will become a Muslim on her own volition. Not you compel, or you give her a condition that Shade or Dorcas, if you want to marry me, ready to become a Muslim. No, you don't do that. Islam does not permit that. That's compulsion. You don't do that in Islam. If you do that, you are a sinner. You are committing a sin. You are not gaining soul for Allah. No one can gain soul for Allah. Allah gain any soul that he wishes. Who are you? So you have given her that condition that you cannot be a Muslim. I will not marry you. You are making a mistake. If she does that, pretending to be a Muslim, you are in hell. Because by the time she has 1 or 2 child for you, you are in hell. She will go back to her church. She maybe due to he fears you a lot. When you are not around, she go to her church. When you are in, she will become a Muslim. So eventually, if you pass away suddenly, she will go back to his church, to her church, with her children. So what are we saying? Let her get confused about Islam before even marrying her at all. Take her to religious gathering. Let her hear the message on her own. Don't compel her. Don't give her that condition. It's a sin against you, against God. Don't do that. Don't compel her. So, Islam has never compelled anybody. People will now be saying, no, but as according to what the guy said, that you guys fought religious war. No. I told you earlier on, there's no holy war. There is nothing like holy war. You don't kill people because of they are not in your faith. It was the Christian that does that during the 10th century, 1100. Back then, Crusaders that came to Spain and wiped every Muslim race in that place. They came to Turkey and does the same thing. All over Europe, they kill everybody. So that is Crusader. Islam does not invade. We don't invade. Go and check record. Because it's not part of our teaching to wage an holy war against anybody. There's nothing like holy war. War is war. When the war comes, people dies. So is that holy? That's evil. So the war that Muhammad waged was not caused by Muhammad. I think everybody knew that. It was the pagan that waged the war against Muhammad. And you knew it, you read it in your storybook. Then when Muhammad came, Muhammad was trying to establish his own religion, to establish Islam, to tell the pagan in Mecca that you need to worship all these idols. Worship God alone. Due to his statement, he has never waged war against anybody. He only preached to them that they must not worship idol. You know what they did? They chased him out of the town of his father, Mecca. And the simple man ran away with his disciples, the Sahabas. They now went to Medina. Medina to Mecca is 8 hours drive. You can imagine how they might have suffered. The persecution raised against them by the pagan in Mecca. Nobody thought about that. The genesis of our problem. So, when my man now ran for his life, they destroyed all his things, all his properties. They broke his houses and all that. He never retaliated. He never. The only thing he did was to run for his life. He now went to Medina. When he got to Medina, the Meccan pagan now felt that he might go there to settle and establish that truth of Allah unto them in Medina. You know what they did? They now wage war from Mecca down to Medina to attack him there. That was when Allah now raised the first verse, because Muhammad will never did anything that was not instructed to do. That's the culture of Allah to Muhammad. God, Allah now said to Muhammad, that's the first law, first commandment that Muhammad received as per war. It's a defensive war. If you don't know, he defended himself, not attacking anybody. Quran chapter 2 from verse 190. Hear what Allah said to Muhammad. For you to know that Muhammad never caused any war or waged anywhere against anybody. All what the people are saying out there are mere propaganda. In order to hang a dog, you have to give a bad name. They knew quite alright that the best man in the world is Muhammad. The best man is Muhammad. They knew. But in order to hang a dog, tarnish his image, call him a bad name, so people look at it, that's a bad guy, and they never for one come closer to him. So they talk bad about you. Are you really bad? Nobody. They've poisoned people's mind, and they are still poisoning people out today. Look at what I said to Pastor Alabi that lives in Maryland. Can you imagine tarnishing the image of Muhammad? And he knew next to nothing about this guy. Now, Quran chapter 2, verse 190. Hear what Allah said to Muhammad. For you to know that Muhammad was never, and he will never be an attacker on anybody. Allah said, this is the first commandment that came for him. Allah said, fight in the cause of Allah those who fight against you. Do you see that? Not even fight for themselves. Those that will not let the religion of Allah to stay on earth, because they wage war against you. Say, then retaliate. Allah said, fight in the cause of Allah those who fight against you. He now gave them a caution. The caution is, but do not transgress the limit, for Allah loveth the transgressor, loveth not the transgressors. Now, what is that limit? The limit simply means, supposing the pagan were with knives to fight against Muhammad and his follower, and Muhammad happens to have an arrow that can just from distance and kill them. God said, don't use it. Go and look for a knife to defend yourself. If they are with gun, go and get a gun. If they are with machete, go and get a cutlass as well to defend yourself. If they brought ordinary wood, get a wood and defend yourself. So the God does not even want Muhammad to cheat on them, even as they were the one that attacked him. No, look at what Allah said to Muhammad now. So what are you guys saying? That he waged a holy war. There's no holy war. War is war. So, on this note, I think I've explained in details all what this guy has been asking. There's no terrorism in Islam. No that's what the Quran said. There's no terrorism in Islam. All the terrorist groups are not Muslim. I'm saying it openly. The Al Qaeda, the Al Shabaab, the ISIS, even the damn Boko Haram in Nigeria, they are not Muslims. And I keep on saying, this S-Men issue is political. At least S-Men has been in Nigeria of ours for decades. Nigeria is over. This is year 2018. We got our independence in 1960. 56 years. So we've never had, for good 50 years, for good 54 years or 53 years, thereabout, about S-Men attacking anybody. Why now? S-Men issue. That's politics. That is politics for you in Nigeria. So that's what we are facing. When Obasanjo was there, is the problem of OPC. Anybody that commit any sin, OPC has come. But they knew quite all right that the leader of that throne is a Yoruba man. So the same thing applies to Buhari now. In order to hang a dog, you have a bad name. Buhari has never encourages anybody to kill anybody. He has never. He's a pure Muslim. I can vouch for him. He's a Muslim to the core. That is why he is the only guy that can tackle corruption. Because Islam never allows corruptions. Never. Islam allows justice. It allows justice. So on this note, I'm going to close for tonight. If anybody wanted to ask any question or contribution, you can call on the following numbers: +234 3480 340 61900. Again, +234 80 340 61900. The second number that I can call the regular call. Likewise, you can call on WhatsApp as well. Regular call, WhatsApp. The two numbers are on WhatsApp and regular call. Again, call on +234 80 28 000 999. +234 80 28 000 999. So I'll be waiting for your question or contributions. On that note, I greet those that were with me from the inception of this program, from cousin my identity Lope, good of you, from Okota, and Deniran Idowu. He said, can you mention nations of 12? No, it's in the Bible. Well, every nation has the name of the what's it called? If you check Matthew 10 from verse 1, all disciples of Jesus, they mention their names. So the disciples, you have to go back to the Genesis. Check at the names of the sons of Jacob. So those names makes up the nations up till now. I also I greet Adisa Shafi, likewise Kunrowell Ajike from Saudi Arabia. She said, Mr. Adisa, they understand, but no business. I don't understand. I also did Dele Majolagbe, likewise Kamoru Alabi, Abdulhafiz Akonde, Asani Shola Ablatif, likewise Taufik Ayinde. I'm waiting for your call. Likewise Bashiru Adebeshin, that's from UK. Likewise Lawal Ibrahim, Mori Owoyemi, Sherifat Aruna, Sonny Abdulatif, Adegun Ayisa as well, Idris, ID Vision, Adekola, Yaya Waliyila Woli, FC Fresh Ambel Bello from Ososa. use Bumi from UK. Likewise, Sheikh Ibrahim Bodofu. Likewise, Dhikrullah Olariwaju Sunny. Ladi Dabiri Muri. Mohammed Hussein. Fausa Oladoyinbo. Adam Hamza. Oyekunle Abe. Khalifa Kozim. F Adura Migba. Okay. Ola Ojoye Jelil Abdurrahim Olaleye. Amen. So those are the people on board presently. So if you have any question or contributions, maybe you might have had that audio in the past. Said, okay, Muri Owoyemi from Italy. I'm still waiting. Okay, on Thursday, inshallah, we are going to have our normal weekly program. So for this week, from 12, 13, 14, we are going to Chief Adenekon Street, Ile-Iwe Ejigbo. I also greet Jamiu Akinyemi Blue from Italy as well. Abioye Niniola Ibironke, that's Ghana. Amen. Now, we are going to Chief Adenekon Street, Ile-Iwe Ejigbo, Lagos. If you are coming from Oshodi or Sele Express to Orilowo Ejigbo, and I liked at Ile-Iwe, then ask for Chief Adenekon Street off Ile-Iwe. So that's where we're having program Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Sunday morning, inshallah. What I'm saying in essence in Yoruba language ni pé wá sí wa ọlọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ tí a máa ń ṣe tọ̀sẹ̀ máa wáyé ní Èjìgbò ní Chief Adenekon Street láti 12, 13, 14 ó máa wáyé, inshallah máa post here sórí Facebook tí wọ́n ti parí program yìí sìn àgọ́ máa type ẹ̀ síbẹ̀. Chief Adenekon Street, Ile-Iwe bus stop ní Èjìgbò láti Oṣòdì àbí láti Sẹ̀lẹ̀ Express. Àwọn mọ́tò lọ sí Orílówó Èjìgbò, àbọ́lẹ̀ ní Ile-Iwe bus stop, àwa béèrè Chief Adenekon Street. Inshallah ó máa jẹ́ Thursday 9 to 11, Friday 9 to 11, Saturday láti aago 10 alẹ́ di aago 5 àárọ̀ Sunday lágbọ́rọ̀ Ọlọ́run báyìí máa ń ṣe lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ nìyẹn, inshallah. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá tún ní ìbéèrè ó lè pàdé wa ń bẹ̀, inshallah. If anyone has any question, you are free to come to Ejigbo this week, inshallah. So if anybody wants to call, please. I greet Jẹ́jẹ́ Láyégbà Ọlá Bobby. Amen, amen. I want to add some few minutes. By 11:45, inshallah, I'm going to be offline. So we have just 16 minutes left or 15 minutes left, inshallah. So if anybody, if no contribution or whatsoever, then I'll be offline. I greet Otumba Abe paid. So please share the program. Share it as many as you can. Minimumly 20 or more, 100 or 120 or 300. Just be sharing it, inshallah. Share to the groups, even to WhatsApp group. You can download it from Facebook or share it from there. Share it to groups. Share it to WhatsApp, to Instagram as well. So inshallah, if no contribution is coming in, likewise phone call, we are going to end it now, and by next week Tuesday I'm going to treat another topic entirely. Or you see, I penned one case for the Yoruba listener. Àwa tí tó bá di ijọ́ mẹ́jọ, inshallah, I'm going to speak in Yoruba language, inshallah, because I need to treat. I had a pending case, part 2, that has to do with Lanre Solati, Mohammed Lanre Solati. I deliberately suspended it for today due to this new incoming audio, and also the death of Sheikh Amir Jaish Yaya Solati. May Allah grant him again of Firdaus and forgive him all his shortcomings, inshallah. The house, please kulu Allah for him. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kulu huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. May Allah forgive him. I also greet Prince Latif. Everywhere that can be. Otumba Abe. Okay, please, I think I've done that. So tí mo sọ ni pé tó bá di ọjọ́ Tuesday tó ń bọ̀ pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run, mo kí Abubakar Abdulrasheed, likewise. Now tó bá di ọjọ́ Tuesday tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run kó má kókó ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ kọ́ ló ń jẹ́ káyìrá wa pẹ́. Mo dẹ̀ ṣàdúrà fún bàbá wa Yaya Solati Amiru Jaish tí wọ́n jẹ́ àìláyé níjọ́ Monday tí Wednesday tó kọjá. Ọlọ́run bá fọ̀run kẹ́ wọn, Ọlọ́run bá foríjì wọn, kó bá pàṣẹ wọn rẹ́, kó má fi kún tiwa. Gbogbo ayé ikú lára ọkàn fún wọn, Ọlọ́run kó bá gáfárà wọn. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. Mo wá ní mo fi ọ̀rọ̀ kan pamọ́ fún èní. À ń bọ̀rọ̀ kan bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, tó bá di ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ a máa parí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run, a máa parí ẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ àfáà wa Lanre Solati tí mo ṣàlàyé wọn fún yín pé wọ́n gba àwọn owó kan lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn kan ní US. Owó yẹn lọ bí 1.1 million. Ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn onígò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà anyway. Wọ́n nìkan 300 naira, ìkan 1.2 million sefa. Tẹ́bá ṣe 1.2 million sefa yẹn bá bí 700,000 naira Nigeria. Okay, káyà ní 1 million naira. So ọ̀hún ni mo ṣàlàyé ń jọ yẹn. So tí wọ́n á promise ẹ rí pé mo yọ fídíò yẹn kúrò lórí Facebook ní ìjọ kejì. Màá ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ dáadáa lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ tí wọ́n fẹ́ continue ọ̀rọ̀ wọn àti àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ míì tẹ́tí ò gbọ́dọ̀ báyàn gbọ́ nípa àfọ́ Ọlọ́run, particularly Solati family. So inshallah níjọ́ mẹ́jọ tí ò bá tí ì yanjú á yànnàná ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run, á yànnàná ẹ̀ inshallah. Ọlọ́run kí ó fún wa ṣe. So lórí eléyìí, may Allah continue to be with us and guide us all my listeners, all my lovers. May Allah bless you and be with you inshallah inna atayna bismillahir rahmanir rahim inna atayna kalakathar fasali li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwal abtar pàtàkì ló fẹ́ Ọlọ́run kó bá dúró tì wá Ọlọ́run kó má gbàdúrà wa kó dúró tẹ̀lé kó wá kó dùn wá nú kó gbàdúrà má dojú àdúrà tì wá ọlá inna atayna a máa fi ṣe lọ ẹ̀dẹ̀ lè pè lẹ́yìn program náà can call after the program anyway there's no problem I will still be here in the studio till 12 o'clock inshallah so I'll be expecting your call subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wassalamu ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin sallallahu karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam assalamu alaikum.